give it back to Ron for a little wrap up on this, and we hope to get some questions, some dialogue.
Thanks. Look, I've learned in the last few months this isn't going to be easy, but each of you represents connections to amazing numbers of people. When I came to town 30 years ago, and at any time there wasn't the level of social organization that existed. Homeowners groups were about it, some service clubs. There's real democracy roots in LA now that wasn't existing before. The secession movement that I helped foment in the Valley and supplied information for created a level of connection, a level of awareness and race consciousness. I mean, this isn't the situation it used to be. I believe there is enough people involved who know enough, care enough. You've heard stories from the east side, from all around the town. It's really the same issue. We care about our neighborhoods, we care about our homes, we want economic opportunity for ourselves and our children. This isn't some wild-eyed revolution trying to destroy something. We've been excluded. Power is held by the few, cutting deals for their own advantage without understanding or caring what we think. You ask, what's the agenda? We haven't had a public conversation in this town in its entire history about who we are, what kind of community, how we're going to live and get along. The LA Times hasn't done it. No, man. I've accused them repeatedly of being criminals because they had the power to raise the consciousness of this community, to stand for something. The Daily News tried in its own way, but it's a limited audience. It's got to come from us. The internet is the opportunity, an organization, connection, reaching out, not letting this go. I mean, it's great of you to come. I don't know, I admire so many of the people that I've met who know more or are teaching me every day things I don't know that most of you probably do know from being involved. And all I can tell you is it's going to be hard work, it's going to take persistence, and it's going to take time. But if we get candidates running for offices, if we work our turf in our neighborhoods and our communities, if we reach out, in the end, the politicians will obey us. The mayor will get back to work, stop vacationing and fishing in Iceland. It's a big secret, but the Daily News is going to have it Monday, so I can share with you that he's at a billionaire's estate in Iceland and having the time of his life.
He can stay there.
Or he can come back and we can make him go to work for us. And the same is true of every one of your council members. Next time they smile to your group and tell you how much they care, demand what they're going to do for you. Take a video of it. And we'll hold the Truth Squad and we'll keep coming back at them, and we'll have people all over this town asking them, when did you deliver on that? We can make a list of, you know how much fees, taxes, and rates have gone up since Antonio's been the mayor?
They're going up more.
What do we got for it?
I mean, it's going up and up, and it's because he can get away with it. David Hernandez brought up Measure R. That was the moment that they knew they could bamboozle us. That they could get so much money, they could sell us anything, and not have real plans on the table. You know, they celebrated the vote for the bond issue, drinking champagne at the Pacific Dining Car the other day, the board members and the superintendent. But it's not a real plan to educate kids or fix schools. It's a plan to spend $7 billion for 40 years. The 2044 is when that gets paid off. I mean, these bonds go on and make LA less affordable. I mean, I don't know the answers. Everybody's got an opinion, but the people don't have the power. You have the power to be the cells that begin this. Talk it up, reach out, get involved, and get other people to be involved. You know, I mean, we can do it. It's going to take some time, but every little success will breed more success. As soon as people see that the Saving LA project is standing and bringing people together, educating them and organizing them, we will start making a difference. And people who are on the sidelines, the apathetics, the defeated, will get courage to come back and get involved. And that's when we win this game. A friend of mine who's helped get this off the ground and given us the money to print flyers and do a lot of stuff is donated another $500 to get it going. We're going to need money, and we're going to, have to reach out and get some money. to get stuff going. I'm trying to raise money to get the website going that can really make a difference. But, you know, we're going to have to give some thought and a plan to how we raise money in the short term and whether it's whatever the vehicle is. And the most important thing to remember is this isn't anybody's group, this is your group. And you have everyone has an equal voice in this, and we're working on getting a mechanism to be heard and to have your ideas heard and to try to make this a real city where every part of the city cares about every other part of the city. Thank you so much.
Let's go with a couple of questions. And before I get to that, I want to remind you that one of the fellows here, Bob Singer, has a trained dog, and he would like to do a little show with his dog for those that may be interested. And I've been asked to leave 48 chairs here. The use of this room is important. We appreciate it. And the other chairs, I'm going to ask that a couple of volunteers help me, and we'll walk them back into the back room. And the other item of business is that I'm thinking maybe the LANC Coalition meets on the first Saturday. I don't know, was this day suitable? Was this time suitable? Should we try to plan for another organizing meeting the first Saturday of the month? Yes, so the location is to be determined because I don't have this locked in for that. But I know there was some suggestions of moving this around, and I'm not opposed to that. But let's go to some questions for Ron, or general questions on the organization. A little dialogue. Jose, shout it out.
Mr. Ron Kaye, you were the editor of Daily News during the Jack Weiss recall. And what happened with the recall? Where did it go awry? And that's my first question. The second question, from what I understand about a recall, is it true that the city, if you're a city citizen throughout the city, you could also collect signatures within all 15 councilmanic districts? Is that true?
No, I think you have to do it within the district.
I know.
I'm sure of that.
You come from another councilmanic district.
Well, anybody can be paid and anybody can volunteer to collect signatures, but the thresholds are impossible. I asked to be able to write ballot measures for the gang tax, and I was told that it's, you know, besides Eric Garcetti decides. Now, he pushed the tax, then it goes to a city council committee that all voted for the tax. And then they cut off the deadline 2 weeks after they voted it in to nominate yourself. And then they decide who gets to write, and then they decide what you write, basically. So, I mean, this is a fixed game. This is the kind of stuff that the Soviet Union did to its people. And we have to fight them. I'm going to fight them on this one. I'm going to tell them the deadline was phony, and that we'll find a lawyer, I'll find a lawyer, and I'll challenge the whole process in court as undemocratic. I mean, that's not a process, and it's not fair. Yes, it's broken in 1,000 ways. It has to be fixed. We have to find the ways, and we got to get people to go to work in every particular way. The recall, I mean, it's almost impossible to recall, but I bet you Jack Weiss doesn't win the city attorney's race.
Question here. Shout it out.
Not so much a question, but just an affirmation. The idea of your truth squad is a wonderful idea to shine a light on all of these individual issues. And if there were some way of broadcasting it in the several kinds of ways you can, email, cable station, the daily news, all of these things, but to shine a light and to identify people to research in depth those issues and call it the Truth Squad, as you are, and that go forward in that way, I think is a very substantial contribution to your effort.
Think about if you go to wherever they're speaking at events, and there's 3 people with a Truth Squad who track what Janice Hahn has been saying, or anybody's saying, and is hold their statements accountable and cuts through the crap and pushes back at it.
Absolutely.
I mean, and you go to mayoral debates, you know, it's as much energy and effort as we can put into it, and we're going to grow and learn doing it.